Hey, I am Asbjørn, Danish queer pop musician, and you are watching Speed Date with Xtra Magazine.
In 3 words, how would you describe your music?
Sexy. Sad.
Can't believe that I left you.
Freeing, maybe. To me, it's freeing, and that's everything I'm hoping that it will be to people.
Can I just be me? Can I just be human?
Your latest album is called Boyology. What does that term mean to you?
Making this album was such a rites of passage in so many ways.
Maybe I'm young, maybe I'm dumb, maybe I'm crazy.
I guess I also somewhere along the line became kind of a man, but that also f***ed me up because I've always been super confused with what that means, because being a man to me is so limited. So basically, Boyology is, an attempt to kind of create the rules myself and define what I think being a boy or being a man is to me.
Can you tell us more about your song Be Human, which talks about childhood gender fluidity?
As a kid, my mom and dad thought I'd change my sex.
I love talking about Be Human. That's one of the really special ones. It happens very kind of rarely that a song just like wants out, but Be Human really did.
I don't wanna be a man.
I remember it was in 2017, and I think the first case of Me Too was like all over the place, and I was sitting in my apartment in Berlin and kind of being really excited about it, because somehow I knew that with this motion in pop culture, things would have to change. Masculinity couldn't just stay the same.
Can I just be me? Can I just be human?
And then I wrote Be Human, and it was almost like a diary entry, really. And I had a really hard time with those verses in a long time, and I tried to rewrite them 1,000 times because it felt too private. I think a lot of musicians always try to balance on the point where it's personal but not private, and this is definitely crossing that line, and that's terrifying when you write something like that. I'm really proud of that one.
Disney princess dresses and my grandma's pretty pearls.
Your last 2 records have been accompanied by a collection of interconnected videos. What inspired these video series?
Well, I think ever since I saw Papa Don't Preach by Madonna,
Papa don't preach, I'm in love.
that's when I realized that you can make pop music with a capital P-O-P and say something at the same time.
You're gonna remember my name.
The videos, they're just a way of connecting in a different way and telling a story which isn't necessarily the same as the song. I'm just a sucker for that. I want to tell stories with my pop music.
If you could collaborate with anyone in the world, who would it be?
Okay, Robin,
I'm right over here. Why can't you see me?
Christina and the Queens,
It turns me on because it's time not for me.
Charlie XCX,
I always let the good ones go.
Caroline Polachek.
I get lonely.
So, what's next for you?
Well, next up is playing some concerts, actually sharing the music like that. I can't wait. Then I'm making the next album as we speak, so that's pretty exciting as well. I don't plan to not release anything for 6 years. again. So I think I'm just gonna keep on making a new record. That's it. Music, music, music. Thanks so much for watching this speed date with me and Xtra Magazine. If you wanna keep up with what I'm doing, find me everywhere at Asbjørn Music.